Naysiagalore Mafia.
Hi. My friend Sarah is over here, so she's watching me record, and I get so nervous recording in front of people, so this is gonna be interesting. You wanna say hi, Sarah? I posted a poll on my Instagram and my Snapchat about a week ago, and I had y'all vote for mental health tips or categorizing friendships. Mental health tips for college students won, and I posted it. And I really already recorded this video and I accidentally deleted it, so I'm re-recording. So I'm kind of upset about that, but it's okay. We're gonna do categorizing friendships today. If you hold a friend, like a standard friend, to an expectation of a close friend, then that friendship is bound to fail because you'll feel like your needs aren't being met, or you'll feel like they aren't being a real friend to you of some sort. And when you set boundaries and standards and expectations and different levels of friendship in your life, then you won't have that problem. Because I used to struggle with that a lot. For a long time, I felt alone or just misunderstood, or like I didn't really have friends, because I held everyone to such a high expectation of everyone that I meet being a close friend, when that is just very unrealistic, and I was setting myself up for failure and, you know, having trouble forming real relationships that will last. I'm gonna have Sarah co-sign me and help me out with this video. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited.
And then to end this video, I'll have Sarah talk about her experience, how she struggled with friendships with different people, or some bad experiences she had in friendships, or how she categorizes her friendships personally, because it can vary from person to person. The expectations I have may not be the same expectations she has for her friendships, and that is fine. Should I use the whiteboard? The whiteboard?
Yeah, that should like add. Wait, you're editing this, right? So
yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can add that to make it more engaging too.
Alright, this is the friendship tiers list that I made. I originally had 3, but I felt it was important to include mutuals, because I feel like mutuals fuck a lot of people up, including myself sometimes. So I'm going to explain the difference between these tiers, and then I'm going to give some examples of what acquaintances are. I'm going to have my camera woman come in and give her little examples or whatever. Okay, so at the bottom we have acquaintances. Acquaintances are just people you see around and you smile and wave to. You don't know their last name, you don't know nothing about them, their hobbies, like you don't know anything about them. It's very like surface level. Like you see them, you say hi, you wave, you smile, that's it. That's all the interaction you will have with acquaintances. Mutuals. Mutuals fuck a lot of people up because these are people that you know through your actual friends. You know these people through your friends. They are not, like, you wouldn't consider them friends. I am friends with a lot of people. Most people in my life fall under this category right here. But I have met people through them, which will be mutuals. Mutuals, you have a couple conversations with them, but y'all don't hang out one-on-one. Like if y'all are not comfortable hanging out one-on-one without that other friend there, that is a mutual, that is not your friend. Don't hold them to the same expectations, don't treat them the same, because you're gonna set yourself up for failure. You're gonna hurt your own feelings by doing that. Friends are people you can rely on, not depend on. Depending and relying on someone is 2 different things, and I'll explain the difference in a little bit. But friends are people you can rely on, people you can hang out with one-on-one, people you know, like you know more about them, like some hobbies, y'all might have a couple of deep conversations, y'all might like really get to form a bond to where y'all can trust each other. There's no disrespect, no animosity, no secret feelings. Like if y'all feel a certain way towards each other, y'all can put that shit in the air. That's what a friendship should have. There is like no standards or expectations anywhere in that sentence. A regular friend, you should be able to communicate with them if something pops up between y'all. Period, bottom line. A bestie or a close friend is someone you can depend on. Now the difference between depending and relying on someone is very important because people use them interchangeably and you can't really do it. But you can't really do that. Someone you can rely on is more of like, I can rely on this person to defend my name when I'm being talked about. I can rely on this person to hang out with. I can rely on this person to not disrespect me. Like, it's a sense of mutual understanding. That's what reliability is. Dependency is different. Dependency is what I would consider something you have for a close friend or a bestie. Because when you depend on someone, you're like, I can depend on them to have my back anytime I need something. Like, if I don't have it, my best friend has it. If I can't do it, my best friend can do it for me. If I'm having a bad day, my best friend can pick me up. That's dependability. It's not the same as reliability because all of your friends can't pick you up when you're having a bad day. All of your friends can't cover the extra expense of your bill at Walmart if you ain't got enough on your Cash App card. A regular friend can't do the same thing a close friend can do for you. That's why you have to know the difference between dependability and reliability. It'll save you a lot of headaches and just time.
Sarah? I'm not a perfectionist, but I'm going to speak on top of my head.
All right, go.
Okay, I'm Sarah, so I'm going to give some examples of each tier. So for acquaintances, like Janasia said, it's just like people that you just say hey to, like you don't really know them for real, like maybe it's like a classmate or something like that. Mutuals are like people that you know through your friends, but you're not as close to them as like your friend. Then friends are just people that are there for you when you're like down, or not technically like a ride or die, but they're just people that you can like rely on and stuff like that. A bestie, that's a ride or die. That's a ride or die. Like, I basically call that, like if I had a bestie, I would call her like my sister, almost. So, yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. We're going to move on to the next thing, which is standards, expectations, deal breakers, and boundaries. Now, this goes for any relationship, any bond you have in your life, even familial. If you don't have standards, expectations, deal breakers, and boundaries in place at all, you're constantly going to feel violated. You're constantly going to have issues come up in your friendships because you didn't set any of these standards, rules, boundaries, like you didn't do that. So make sure you do it because you'll be setting yourself up. Standards and expectations, I kind of place them in the same category, and it's to what extent of degree you hold these people up to, like, in your life. For example, like my only standard or expectation for an acquaintance is to, if you see me, say hi, wave, smile, like do something so you acknowledge my presence. Like, it's a very mutual understanding. Like, I'll do a little wave, do a little smile, and that's it. That's the only expectation I have from them. I don't expect them to talk to me. I don't expect a conversation. I don't expect loyalty. I don't expect like for them to even defend my name because they don't know me. And that wouldn't be fair to me to hold them to that expectation if I'm not even considering them a friend. That would be unfair to me. Standards and expectations for mutuals is like, if we're all hanging out with like that one friend that we're connected by, you know, speak to me, just be friendly, be cordial. We can talk, have a conversation. Like, it don't have to be weird just because, like, even when the friend isn't around and we're just like having a little quick chat, like, you know, we could just talk. Again, respect, good vibes, you know, disrespect, like, that's very baseline, like very, again, surface level of standards. Now, standards and expectations for my friends, I expect you to not talk shit about me, defend my name when I'm not in the room. I expect loyalty, I expect effort, not just from me, but from you, because it takes two. That's just some examples. There's a lot more that goes into my standards and expectations, but we'd be here all fucking night if I listened on.
You have a whole podcast.
For real. Now my sense of expectations for a bestie or a close friend or a sister or a brother, whatever, it's a lot more intimate than just a friend. Like, I expect you to be a support system. Like, I expect you to be a backbone for me. If I cannot rely on you to support me, chasing my goals, or just encouraging me to be a better person, I won't see you as a close friend. Because with the type of person I am always looking to improve myself. I love self-development. I love growing into a better person. So if you're constantly influencing me to be a worse person than I was yesterday, you won't be a bestie to me. That's my standards and expectations. Again, the reason why standards and expectations and all this isn't included in the tiers is because it varies from person to person. My expectations will be different from yours, it'll be different from Sarah's, it'll be different from all my other friends. And that's okay. We're gonna talk about deal breakers. Deal breakers is like stuff you learn about people where you just go, no. Like, for example, if you're someone, like, I love girlhood, so a lot of my friends are girls because I just thrive being around other, like, strong women. If you're one of those girls that's constantly bashing people, constantly talking about someone else, talking about how someone else looks, their outfit, their hairstyle, I don't be wanting to hear all that because you sound like a hater to me. So you won't be anything above an acquaintance. Like, you can't move past that line because you have something I call a deal breaker. So you're gonna be stuck in this tier until you decide to be a better person. Again, deal breakers vary from person to person. I have a lot of deal breakers. Like, if you're disrespectful, if you're that, I'm the mean, nice friend, I don't care, you're not my friend then, like, get the fuck out of here. If you enjoy being a homewrecker, me and you can never, like, you might be a mutual because you know someone I know, but again, you won't be considered a friend or a close friend to me. At most, you will probably work your way into a mutual if you're close enough to one of my friends. That's the only way. Now, boundaries. Boundaries is like a harsh line you set with all the relationships in your life. And these are so important because if you don't set boundaries, then you're constantly going to feel violated and attacked or like just triggered, because people trigger other people every day without knowing. So a boundary I have is, if I'm in a relationship or if I have a boyfriend or whatever, I don't want you talking to your other friends about my boyfriend. I don't want you being friends with my boyfriend if you're my friend. And I don't want my man's name in your mouth. Because the type of person I am, I keep my relationship and my friendship separate because you take a risk with anything that has to do with another person. Friendship is always a risk. They can do you dirty, they can stab you in the back. You never know who's real or fake until they show you who they are in a given situation. So for me, keeping my man or my partner, whoever, separate from my girlhood just gives me peace of mind and a sense of security. It just gives me one less thing to worry about. So that's a boundary I have it on my friendships. A very harsh boundary. If I catch you in my man's DMs, following my man and not saying nothing to me about it, then I'm gonna think you're weird and we're not gonna be friends anymore because I set that boundary, everyone knows that boundary, and you still decided to cross it. Meaning you don't need to be associated with me anymore. And that's just that. Sarah, give us some examples of some standards and expectations in your friendships.
I'm just going to talk about like standards, expectations, deal breakers, and boundaries for like because acquaintances, I don't really take them seriously. So mutuals, like even for all the tiers, it's just like respect, like just acknowledge my presence at least. Don't be rude, you know, because that's just weird. It's like I'm a nice person, like I can basically get along with anybody who just respects me and I respect you.
Okay. If it's like too difficult,
Yeah,
we can just go into deal breakers and boundaries because I think that's easier. Like deal breakers is like
I
bottom
like
line.
Yeah.
You have to really
so
think.
deal breakers obviously very easy. Like, don't talk behind my back. Don't engage in any type of conversation that has my name in it, and you don't like stand up for me and you actually engage with it and talk shit. Another deal breaker. It's acting weird as well, because I can tell when you acting weird. I can't explain it, but I can just tell. Like, if you're just weird, I'm just gonna stop talking to you. I'm not gonna chase you. Like, I'm just gonna be like, okay, whatever. So, yeah. Another boundary I would say is communication. Oh no, that's not. That's the expectation. Yeah, communication. Like, don't be afraid to if we know something happened, don't be afraid to like talk it out, because especially if your besties is like your sister, so it's like it shouldn't be a problem if you don't have to like talk about certain situation, because for one, it won't affect you that much because y'all were close and it's like, yeah, girl, no problem, blah blah blah. But yeah, communication is key, because if you don't communicate, it can create like assumptions and all that stuff. It's just not good, because I actually had that experience. It was terrible.
Thank you again, Sarah. Period. We love having guests on the show. The last topic I want to teach you about friendship is accountability, and it goes both ways. So, I used to be the type of person that was like, if someone did something I disliked or something that wasn't even that deep, like they didn't do anything to me personally, but say a girl unfollowed me on Instagram, I would call her weird and dislike her and tell all my friends she's weird, when that was wrong of me. Because unfollowing someone on Instagram does not equate to me. Fuck. What you saying to talk? Unfollowing someone on Instagram does not equate to beef. Like, I unfollow people all the time, and it's simply because whatever you post, I don't want to see on my feed. Like, if I don't like what you're posting, I will unfollow you. It doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean we're beefing. It just means that I don't want to see your stuff, and that's okay. That's fine. But if you unfollow me, please remove me as a follower, because I promise I am not that tuned in with your account. Hold yourself accountable. As a human, as an individual, as your own person, you have to make choices that help you. Like, you have to put yourself first. You have to put your well-being first, because if you can't show up for yourself, you can't show up for other people. I block people all the time, and I am a out of sight, out of mind type person. So if we fall out and I block you, it doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean I want you to die. It doesn't mean nothing like that. Not all the time. It just means I don't want you a part of my life in any type of way anymore. Like, I don't want you having access to me, and that's fine. There's plenty of people I used to be friends with, plenty of people I used to date, plenty of people I used to know that I have blocked, and they called me all types of bitches, all types of weirdo, da-da-da, when I just made a decision that was best for me. And I would never get mad at another person for doing me the same way. Like, if you ever feel like we fell out and you have to block me, like you have to remove me from your life completely, that's fine. Do whatever is best for you. Because this is your life. No one is going to live your life for you. Like, if you need to do something, do it. It is not your job to make decisions that other people agree with. Hold yourself to the same expectations you hold other people. If you do something to someone, then don't get mad when they do it to you. Oftentimes, when we fall out with someone, we like to paint this bad image of them in their head. A good example of me doing this was with my ex. Now, what he did during our relationship was still awful, but when I really took the time to like self-assess and really reflect on how he was showing up, and how I was showing up in his behavior and my behavior, that's when I became aware of some toxic cycles I was continuing. How I failed to show up in my own relationship, or how I failed to meet his expectations, or how I sometimes pushed his boundaries in response to him pushing mine. Like, it's kind of over-victimizing yourself. A lot of the times when you fall out with someone, you over-victimize yourself instead of taking the time to see, like, okay, I can understand how they reacted like this since I did this, you know? It's accountability. Accountability is very important. If you're someone with no accountability, then you may notice that a lot of your friendships don't last very long. And that's because you don't have accountability. You don't know where you're failing as a friend. You don't know where you're failing as a niece, a daughter, whether that's area of communication, whether that's area of effort, whether that's area of just putting time aside to spend quality time with that person. You have to take accountability for your actions instead of just pushing all the blame on someone else when y'all fall out. It's not your responsibility to make decisions based on how other people feel. It's not their responsibility to do that for you either.
I know I said this was the last thing, but I lied. What you guys working on?
Now, a lot of people talk about love language and romantic relationships. And it's very, like, love language is important in romance, yes, but it's important in all your relationships. Like, for example, I don't mean to trigger anyone when I say this, but have you ever had a parent love you, but not in the way you need to be loved? Have you ever had a boyfriend love you, but you don't feel love because he's not loving you the way you receive love, or the way your brain interprets love? Exactly. That's the importance of love language. Like, for me, my love language is words of affirmation. I love compliments. I love the I love yous, and I like quality time. If we're not spending time together, then I'm not going to see you as a friend. I'm not going to feel important to you or valued in your life at all. If you are not, verbally saying, like, I enjoy your company, or, oh, you look nice today, oh, you smell good, or, I love you, or stuff like that, then again, I'm not going to feel very important to you, and I'm not going to feel valued. Now, you may show up in every other area, like communication. You may give me gifts as a friend and all that, but if you're not showing me love in the language that I needed to be shown to me, I'm not going to feel it. So you need to know your love language, and you need to know your friend's love language. A lot of disconnect happens there as well, is what I notice with other people's friendships. Like,
especially in girlhood.
Especially in girlhood. Manhood, they try to act so tough, but this applies to all the genders, whatever. Think about, how do you show love? How do you receive love? And I encourage y'all to have those talks with your friends, like, hey, like, how can I make you feel more important as my friend? Or, like, how can we improve our friendship? Especially if you meet someone and you just, like, you want them to be a sister to you eventually. Make that effort. Like, talk to them. Tell them your standards and expectations. Talk to them about accountability. Ask them what their love language is. Reference this chart. Like, a lot of people in this generation, they idolize romantic relationships more than friendships, which, if you're that kind of person,
okay.
But I'm here to tell you, 9 times out of 10, that friendship will last longer than whatever girlfriend, boyfriend, partner you have at the time. Because if that relationship falls apart, if that person just wakes up one day and decides to betray you or be dishonest, then that relationship will crumble. And if you stop showing up as a friend for all your friendships you knew before you got into that relationship, you will have to put in major effort to rebuild your life. Be mindful. You have to be very intentional with the people you love. You have to be very intentional with the people you want in your life. And that is the end of my little lesson plan about friendships. If you struggle with friendships, if you've struggled meeting people on campus, if you've struggled meeting people at your workplace, whatever, struggle with friendships, period, I feel like this video would really help you, along with my other video. I think it's called How to Make Friends in College. These two, match made in heaven.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about some experiences that I had with a certain friend. Not gonna name drop, but I just want to say what I've learned from that experience is accountability and communication. Because I mentioned earlier that communication is like one of my standards. Like, I'm gonna just say, like, one of my ex-friends, this person did not necessarily take accountability for any part of what happened. I'm not gonna say what happened, but yeah, she didn't take accountability. Like, the person was over victimizing herself even after the fact that I took accountability for what happened and I apologized. She still, can I say she? Yeah, she still was like over victimizing herself, painting me as a bad person. It was just terrible. Like, I was in depression for a while after that, and it just wasn't good. Like, also, if you like end a friendship over something that can be fixed, that wasn't a true friendship, because it's like, wow. Okay, so I also want to say, like, if you have a friend and her mutuals are disrespecting you and like they are in like your business between you and your friend, I just think that's like, it's just between me and my friend, because you really don't know what happened or what's been going on. And I just feel like that should be between me and my friend to hash it out, and not like having your mutuals butt in without them knowing the whole story. But yeah, they were just disrespecting me. I didn't like it. It was just not cool. It hurt my feelings. Yeah.
Okay. That will mark the end of this video. I hope this was very helpful to y'all. I worked hard on it, and actually, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad I deleted my original content, because I feel like this was a lot better. It was a lot more like personalized. Like, I worked really hard on that whiteboard, y'all. I feel like this was really helpful. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. I love talking about friendships because it's just one of my favorite things to talk about. And yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. Subscribe, like, comment. I started this channel probably around, like, I want to say almost 3 months ago, and I am very proud of all the progress I've made. I work hard on recording and editing these videos for y'all, and it's more just than like clout or reputation or recognition. Like, I really enjoy doing this. It's like an online personal diary. Like, after I perish eventually, God forbid, but after, you know, my time on earth ends, there will still be like documented footage and like archives of me talking and just people getting to know me as a person, which I really, really love. I love the idea of that. I will see y'all next week. Bye bye.